Good afternoon, hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching Mirror Now and I'm Samay Kapoor. And the big story that we've been tracking here at Mirror Now is the conviction of Sanjay Roy as the Sealdah court, the session court is concerned, is where Sanjay Roy has been held guilty for the rape and murder of the 31-year-old trainee doctor at the RG Medical Hospital last year in August. And that is the big breaking news that we are beginning the bulletin with. As far as the RG rape and murder case is concerned, the court convicts accused Sanjay Roy. Accused Sanjay Roy has been found guilty for the rape and murder of the 31-year-old trainee doctor in August last year, although the quantum of sentencing is going to take place on Monday. And despite the verdict, Roy maintains his innocence. Well, that is the big breaking news that we are beginning 3 p.m. today with. As far as the RG rape and murder case is concerned, the court has convicted the accused Sanjay Roy for the rape and murder of the 31-year-old trainee doctor at the RG hospital last year in August. The accused Sanjay Roy has been held guilty, although the quantum of sentencing will now take place on Monday. And Sanjay Roy maintains innocence. He says he's been made a victim of a conspiracy. And to discuss this further, we will have a panel of guests. But 162 days after the brutal rape and murder of a junior doctor of the RG, a Sealdah court today has convicted the prime accused, Sanjay Roy. That is the big breaking news that we're getting you at this point in time. Live right now, Dr. Nisha is joining me to share her views on the story. Dr. Nisha, like I was asking you earlier, fast-track court and maybe a speedy justice may be the demand of the family members and the entire doctors fraternity who stood in unison demanding justice for the 31-year-old trainee doctor since August last year. And today, the court has pronounced its verdict, although Sanjay Roy does have the choice of going and challenging and asking for a review, curative or mercy petition in the higher court. But can these cases, which are horrific cases, heinous crime, be dealt as an exemplary cases?
This is as I was telling you, see, our Indian judicial system is following something called as rule of law. And there is something called as, again, equality before law. Though Sanjay is proved to be guilty also as per section 66 again, we need to understand that this particular person also has every single right of what he's supposed to do. And now in this particular case, this is a very, very conspiracy, two conspiracies also involved in this particular case is what I personally feel as well. The murder cannot be happening just by the mere involvement of a single individual is what the previous reports and other conversations and discussions have even proved us. And even the questioning of the existing government, the Mamata Banerjee government and her other associates are also kind of equally responsible for what has happened to this particular lady with regard to the safety perspective is also what we know. Now, here, though the CBI has said the court that this particular person called as Sanjay is a sole preparator or he's a sole accused in this particular case, and the 45-page charge sheet what they gave, 11 points were exclusively pointing out saying that Sanjay is the only and only accused. But now here lies a hidden motive, and it is opening way for too much of questions in all of our brain that are we not trying to showcase Sanjay and make the other people, the so-called other people, to really get from this heinous crime that committed? Point number one. And point number two is to address such kind of cases. See, you cannot say that, for example, in cases where there is a criminal suit happening, the justice can be delivered the next day. For example, August 9, this particular saddening news happened, and August 10 or August 11 or August 12, you cannot have a statement passed. Our country requires time because it is not the judiciary that literally formulates the law. They just follow what is already been there in the constitution. So now a strong necessary and a strong requirement is there to make further amendments or changes in our existing law and to treat such kind of heinous and gruesome cases of rape and murder so that the justice system can be quite faster. Now, if you see, in our country, again, we need to understand something. As I told you, India is driven by the rule of law. So both the parties should have equal amount of time to understand what is happening. And now there's a very famous statement that tells that even if 100 people, 100 guilty escapes also, one innocent person should not be punished. But having said that, in this particular case, we all know that Sanjay Roy, from the day one itself, he has been accused. He has been he has been framed as if yes, he has been proved guilty, and today the court has saying that yes, he's proven guilty. Even the CBI also tells that yes, he's proven guilty. But now, in spite of that, this man is trying to say that he's innocent. From that particular statement, it is very, very evident that he's not the single person who's actually involved in doing this crime. And moreover, it is not just a mere rape or a mere murder as such. Rather, there was some secret or hidden conspiracy or motives behind murdering that particular young woman or young lady, where the government is equally responsible because they're trying to hide certain facts. Now, in order to fast track such kind of cases in our country, India, what I would personally suggest is that if you see IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of our country, India, previously for any sort of conflicts to be resolved, it used to take more than 4 years. But now when the government got a change in the law, when they amended it, if you see, as per the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, within 180 days, there is 6 months or maximum in certain cases, minimum of 3 months or 90 days, the issue can be solved. So why can't in such kind of criminal suits also, taking into consideration the existing infrastructure, the existing facilities that a country India is having and moving and progressing forward, why can't we have an exceptional judicial system where we can address such kind of issue in a multiple faster way?
All
Because
right.
rapes are not a very it's not something that's happening once in a while, a rare thing in our country, India. Every now and then, multiple reported, multiple unreported cases are happening just like that. So now, to put an end to this, a fast track delivery system is very, very important, and for that, amendments have to be made by the government, and only then the judiciary will be able to follow that. When the judgment, or let's say when there is a delay in justice being delivered, automatically justice is denied is what we normally tend to assume. It is a truth. So why are we giving a chance for the justice to be denied because of the delay that has been happening from the judiciary side, in which the law that they follow is also reason for that. So this has to change in our country, India.
Fair.
At the same time, if you see, when you compare the international standards, the international models of other countries, it is very pathetic to say that India's judicial system is somewhere or the other quite lesser or low in its policy implications or the delivery system compared to them. So because people know that it is not about delivering justice, it is about whether the people are aware about the justice is delivered at the right time, in the right manner, and whether the people are really afraid not to commit such kind of gruesome and heinous crimes. If you say death penalty or capital punishment given to Sanjay Roy, it's nothing. There are many more Sanjay Roys. There are many more, cases like this don't happen is what we also know. Why? Because people
Perhaps
are
a
afraid.
more comprehensive change and amendments of law is what we are looking at, and what may be the need of the hour today. A comprehensive change, more participative counselling perhaps, and some sense of amendment. Let me take that question across to the former member of the NCW, Ms. Shamina Shafiq, who's also joining me this afternoon. Ms. Shafiq, good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking your time and joining us over here. What we were asking about was that we are leading the bulletin with the breaking news coming in from the Sessions Court in Kolkata, where Sanjay Roy has been held guilty. He's been convicted for the rape and murder of the trainee doctor. Now, Mamata Banerjee had written to the Prime Minister saying that there should be a fast-track court, or for that matter, bring about central laws for 15-day trial, and exemplary punishment should be given in cases of heinous rape and murder. Now, what Dr. Nisha was putting out is that sometimes justice delayed is justice denied. The process becomes a punishment for the family members and the doctors' fraternity in this particular case who are fighting for justice. Now, Sanjay Roy will have the option of appealing at a higher court. But do you feel there is a need for certain amendments to be brought about so that in these cases, the lacuna in the law cannot be exploited to give like a benefit of doubt or a longer time frame given for the conviction?
Sorry, your voice is... Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Ms.
Hello.
Shafiq, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, see, first of all, yes, I mean, there is always a room for improvement in terms of amendments that, I mean, you're talking about. But my simple question is that the amendments which were made after the Nirbhaya case, the Justice Verma committee, the recommendations which were supposed to be implemented, be it in terms of fast track court, be in terms of providing legal aid to the victims, or be in terms of, for that matter, the compensation or anything else that for that matter. Unfortunately, nothing, absolutely nothing seems to be working. So no matter how many you have systems in place, the mechanisms in place, if there is no check and balance, if there is no accountability, it doesn't seem to be working. And justice delayed is always justice denied, not sometimes. Because the kind of problems or the kind of trauma, for rather the family of the victim and sometimes the victim faces is something which is beyond even imagination. The kind of, it's almost a rape every day that happens, even after the actual incident takes place. Hello.
Yes, Ms. Shafiq, I can hear you. Please go ahead. The justice delayed is essentially justice denied, and it's not in these cases alone. And that is exactly what Ms. Shafiq was also underscoring, is that all the recommendations of Justice Verma committee, whether it was the legal aid or the fast track court, the fact that the implementation of it was flawed or hardly there is the reason why these elements get emboldened. They feel that they can get away with committing sexual crimes, or for that matter, murder in certain cases like this one. Dr. Nisha, what do you feel? Do you think that the problem lies with the implementation of the recommendations of the Justice Verma committee, or for that matter, several steps and measures that is often promised by the governments?
The government has literally promised a lot of things. In fact, steps have been taken ahead for amendments also. Even in this particular case also, what I propose is again to have an amendment so that at least the justice delivery system could be fast-tracked. Though we have fast-track codes and everything, let me ask you something. These kinds of people who are accused of murder, who are guilty of murder, now are they not living freely in our country also because of the political backup, the so-called big shot backup that they have? In the context of Sanjay Roy also, it highlights a very important point here. It is not this particular man who's just found guilty of the murder. Rather, there is a group of people involved in it. Who are those people? Why is the CBI not even involving, or let's say not even giving more attention in investigating what is happening? They are even unable to answer the victim's family members as well. Why are the other people involved in that particular crime not being questioned? In spite of questioning 50 witnesses on November 12th also, even today they say that only Sanjay is said to be the prime accused and nobody else is involved in this. But it's very well known to us. As per the forensic science laboratory report, we all know that it is not a one-man show that happened in this particular case. Rather than sidelining this particular issue to the murder of a girl by merely raping her just because Sanjay found her and he was just excited to do something to her, there are so many hidden things out in this. So now it is not about changing the law. It's rather about more than amendment. What is required is people should have a fear. When a justice is actually being put forward, should be made aware that next time if anybody tries to attempt such kind of rape
Okay, Ms.
or plan
Nisha, hold
conspiracy or
that
murder
thought
against
and I will
anybody
come
else.
back to you. My colleague Shreya is joining me live right now. I will have to interject over there. Hold your thought and I will come back to you. My colleague Shreya is joining me live right now. Well, Shreya, you were there at the court when the verdict was pronounced. Take us through what exactly is happening on ground right now.
Well, of course, we are standing outside the Sealdah court. Remember, Sanjay Roy has just been taken out of the Sealdah court. There was a huge security that was present because remember, last time while leaving the court, Sanjay Roy have shouted saying that he is innocent and he is being framed. Now, this has been the exact words of Sanjay Roy today inside the courtroom. He has said that he is innocent. Even IPS officer has tried to frame him. Remember, this is the same statement that has come from Sanjay Roy last time to the media while he was leaving the court premises. Now today as well inside the court, Sanjay Roy has made the statement very dramatically. He has said that if I have committed the rape, then I am wearing a Rudraksh mala. That would have been broken. Why is it not broken yet. So as far as Sanjay Roy is concerned, he is pleading innocent at this point in time, but we see Sealdah Court has given their verdict. They have pronounced Sanjay Roy to be the prime accused in the Arjika rape and murder case. Remember, he has been charged with several sections of the BNS. Now, the quantum of this judgment will be pronounced on Monday. The court has also said to Sanjay Roy that whatever he has to say, the court will listen to him on Monday. So we will have to see what the court has to say on Monday, because as far as the CBI is concerned, they have been pleading for the death sentence of Sanjay Roy. And of course, the victim's family and the doctors, they are not happy with the judgment, because they are of the view that this was not a one-man's job. It is clearly a case of gang rape. There is an attempt to cover up, and it is not possible that Sanjay Roy was the only accused in the case. So they are still seeking for justice.
Absolutely, Shreya. Thank you for getting us all those details. We shall leave it at that for the moment. And with that, we're slipping into a short break right now. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned and keep watching Mirror Now for more news and updates.